días, amigos de Ready para Exportar. Esta semana tenemos a un invitado internacional muy importante. En varias ocasiones hemos hablado sobre la Agencia del Caribe para el Desarrollo de las Exportaciones, Caribbean Export. Hemos tenido aquí el antiguo director ejecutivo adjunto de Caribbean Export, pero esta vez Caribbean Export tiene un nuevo director ejecutivo, Deodat Maharaj, de Trinidad y Tobago, que ha tomado las riendas de Caribbean Export, y creo que es una buena oportunidad para conversar con él sobre el Caribe, sobre las oportunidades y sobre las nuevas acciones de Caribbean Export. Welcome, Deodat, to Ready para Exportar and to the Dominican Republic, part of your CARIFORUM region.
Yeah, muchas gracias, and I very much appreciate this opportunity to engage with business people and viewers in the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is a very important partner of the Caribbean Export Development Agency, and I am keen to speak about the opportunities for business people from the Dominican Republic that exist all across the Caribbean.
Right. The first question, of course, we have to ask everybody is about the pandemic, right? About how COVID-19 has affected our region. What you see are the main challenges for the Caribbean going forward?
Yeah, I think what COVID-19 has done, it has created new challenges, and it has made a difficult situation even more difficult for countries across the Caribbean. But what it has done really, it has laid bare pre-existing vulnerabilities in the Caribbean. So the region was highly indebted before, it continues to be highly indebted now. Secondly, the enabling environment for business was not as good as it was supposed to be before. That is the same. So I think that governments are continuing to struggle because it's so important, of course, to save lives of Caribbean people. But what is important going forward is that we have a great opportunity to reset the development button. And what is really important is that business has to play an important leadership role to create jobs and growth and prosperity for Caribbean people. And therefore, I see going forward, the role of the state and government is more to create that enabling environment and for the business people in the Dominican Republic to grow and prosper and create jobs. I also see the pandemic has forced us to embrace the digital age much faster and to embrace technology much faster. And that's a good thing, because if we don't do that, we will be left out in a very competitive and complex global marketplace. And finally, what the pandemic has shown us as well is that there's a lot of benefits with vinculo suerte, amongst Caribbean countries. So there's a big market across the English and Dutch-speaking Caribbean for exporters and business people from the Dominican Republic. Places like Guyana and Suriname, they're going to be very wealthy countries because of oil and gas. So Dominican business people, they have great investment opportunities there as well.
Yes, ECLAC has shown us that the countries that do not export within the regions are weaker to face the challenges than the others. Trade was not as bad as expected on the pandemic, at least in the last quarter. How you see trade and investment playing a pivotal role in the recovery of the region?
Yeah, well, the important issue, and I think business people, I've been speaking with a lot of business people in the Dominican Republic. You all are lucky because you all have, very sharp and smart business people. And I think they recognize that business has to play the leadership role in recovery. And together with that, trade and investment are obviously vital, because to start with, we need investment to come our way. And that is why I'm placing a lot of emphasis on foreign direct investment to the Caribbean in key sectors. And trade, we need to trade much more within the region. I think what the Dominican Republic has to offer the rest of the Caribbean and of course the world is that you have a stronger manufacturing base than most other countries in the Caribbean. And therefore, you have a market. But oftentimes, I think because of historical reasons, we tend to look further afield, North America, Europe, rather than right next door, where there are so many business opportunities. So going forward, that intra-regional trade viewers is really important for Dominican business people going forward.
What are the activities, the sectors that Caribbean Export are going to prioritize to assist the region in that task?
Yeah, so there are a couple of things are vital. One, e-commerce is not il futuro, no? It's the present. And therefore, we have been working with business people. So just 2.5 weeks ago, we had a webinar focusing on e-commerce. How do you take advantage of e-commerce and participate in this digital age? So if you are a business person in the Dominican Republic and you want to access the Caribbean market or trade with the Caribbean or sell your products, it's much easier now because you don't have to go on a personal visit. You use your technology, you use your website, and we are working, we have like an e-portal in our website, carib-export.com. So if you go there, you can also see the opportunity. So I think that digitalization is key. Another big sector that's important, and the whole world is going to renewables because of climate change. And therefore, businesses that are going into renewables, into solar energy, wind energy example, as another example, they are areas that represent the future. And the third bit, yesterday was International Women's Day. And in the Caribbean, I mean, we are not where we are supposed to be in terms of women in political leadership, women in business leadership, women on boards of big corporations and companies. So we want to focus a lot on women entrepreneurs and supporting women business people through training, through capacity building, and through supporting them partner with other institutions in other countries. And I spoke about women. Another very important issue is that we have to create a culture of business, okay? So people will think about when they finish university or high school, they think about not looking for a job, but creating jobs. And therefore, in the Caribbean, I think around 60% is the same in the Dominican Republic, I would guess, of the population, they are under the age of 25, Taiana. And therefore, we need to get young people into business from an early age. And technology with innovation creates a level playing field for them to participate in business activities. So women, young people, renewables, I mean, those are key areas for us going forward.
Also, the Caribbean is a service economy, and service is very important. We promote a lot service.
No, precisely, Taiana. And I actually did an op-ed just a couple of days ago for the newspapers on services, because when we think about the future of the Caribbean, take Dominican Republic. Even before I assumed this job, I knew about Dominican Mora, right? We have to think in the Caribbean, how do we package and export our music, our culture, our fashion? And when I think, and that's the next frontier, because we can't compete with big countries in sugarcane and rice and all those commodities anymore. We just can't compete. And therefore, services other than tourism are really, really vital, because we saw what has happened. A lot of our economies, including Barbados, where I'm from, and Dominican Republic, rely a lot on tourism, but the economy went down because of COVID-19 and tourists not coming to our shores. Therefore, we have to, whilst not giving up tourism, but we have to look at services other than tourism. Business outsourcing, our culture, our music, our fashion, and that's the next frontier. The next frontier going forward for us would be the new era of services, including innovation and tapping into technology.
Regarding to the trade agreement that the region has signed, do you think we still have a lot to do to tap into the benefits of the economic partnership agreement with the EU and UK?
Yeah, well, what has happened, viewers, is that we have an economic partnership agreement with the EU. We have a new one with the United Kingdom. There's something called CARIFORUM as well with Canada. There is a trade agreement with Colombia, with Costa Rica. So you have all these trade agreements, but we are not tapping into these agreements as we ought to. And remember, for we into the EU market, for example, duty-free, quota-free, it's a big concession that we can take advantage of. So that's one. But the second issue is that some business people are big business people, and big companies, it's easier for them to access the market. For a smaller business person, it might be more difficult. And that is why with the International Trade Center, we have established a Trade for Sustainable Development hub. So you go to our website, carib-export.com, and you'll get information, because there's a new demand in the North American market, the European market, for goods that are considered sustainable. So if you're making soap, are you using organic products, for example? And those products can be done by small business people once they meet the sustainability criteria. And you have niche markets and premium markets, and you can get premium prices. So we have to look in areas such as this. And this is precisely why we at the Caribbean Export Development Agency, we have partnered with the International Trade Center to launch and to provide information and help companies get access to finance to focus on sustainable development products.
Exporters in the Dominican Republic will not forgive me if I don't ask you the questions about the grants. You announced recently that the EU had assigned some additional funding to Caribbean Export for grants. When are you opening calls? Are you expected to open any call in 2021 to assist?
Okay. So what I'm pleased to say is that we actually had a call from last year, because we got funding from the EU, generous funding, because of COVID-19 to support business people. And we actually made a decision about 3 weeks ago, and business firms from the Dominican Republic, they have been successful in the last call for grants. And that information is on our website, carib-export.com. I anticipate another call for grants will be made in the next 4 or 5 months. And what we will do, Taiana, I mean, we will be sure to reach out to you and others so we could publicize it widely, because it is so important, because these grants provide precious funding for business people to navigate a very difficult environment at this point in time.
Unfortunately, the time is running out, but if you were going to give an advice to exporters in the Dominican Republic, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say that there are immense opportunities also in the Caribbean. So whilst it's important to tap into the trade agreement with the EU, with the UK, with Central and South America, we understand that. But the rest of the Caribbean, there are unique opportunities. And we are delighted at Caribbean Export to have the Dominican Republic playing such an important role in our governance arrangement, and is a vital partner. So we want to work hand in glove with the Dominican businesses to ensure that you can tap into the market across the Caribbean and elsewhere. And we are committed to working with you going forward.
Well, thank you so much, Deodat Maharaj, Executive Director of Caribbean Export, for your presentation.
Muchas gracias y hasta la próxima.
Muchísimas gracias a ustedes. Para la próxima, y ready para exportar y en Metrópoli.